Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing something a bit different and I'm going to be talking about something that has just come up. If you're a BTS fan, obviously by now you know that yesterday all members announced that they were not submitting their work to the Grammys for 2027 for the album Arirang. And it was announced, I want to say like a couple months ago now, that the Grammys were introducing a new category that they were calling Best Asian Pop Music Performance for the 2027 Grammy Awards. From what I have seen and read about this specific category that was introduced, that it basically is a category that recognizes artistic excellence in Asian pop music performances originating from or widely recognized within Asian markets, including but not limited to K-pop, J-pop, and C-pop, with meaningful use of one or more Asian languages. Awards are presented to the performing artists. So I am New Army. But from what I have read, BTS have been nominated for 5 Grammy Awards, but they've never actually won an award. But BTS are global icons. In 2023, they had an album nomination. In 2021, they had Pop Duo Group Performance nomination. In 2023, they had a music video nomination. In 2023, they also had a Pop Duo Group Performance nomination. And also the same in 2022, they had a Pop Duo Group Performance nomination. BTS's music is celebrated all over the world. They have ARMY all over the world. They have been so successful, rightfully so, and they deserve a place in these categories. It's just my opinion. I'm not claiming this to be what happened. I don't don't want to be sued. This is my opinion, okay? Opinion. I think this new category was introduced to look like inclusion, but it is actually the exact opposite of what it's supposed to be. I think that because BTS obviously bring in really high viewership and they are global stars with fans all over the world, if they were in this category, no disrespect to anybody else in the category, but it would be a slam dunk win for BTS. That's what I believe, because they're the biggest boy band in the world. I mean, you know, what do you want me to say? But when you box in this category, it doesn't feel like inclusion, it feels like segregation. Since BTS's debut, they have gained popularity worldwide, rightfully so, with their lyrics, their music, the way that their lyrics touch people, their connection with the army, through advocacy work, standing up for what they believe is right. And I just think it's really, really disappointing and sad that this was the avenue that the Grammys took, because I really feel like they thought that if BTS were in this category, everybody's a winner in their eyes. BTS go into the Asian performance category, they win it, they get a Grammy. They might not win the other categories because, you know, this is a Western show. I know this isn't a fan voted show, but I think there's like a board of voters in the music industry, from what I understand, kind of similar to how the Oscars works with film. But I just think that you're segregating BTS into a category based off of like location and language when they've earned popularity and the right to be in these categories with all these other artists. Why are we basing, you know, talent off of language and location? Like, why is that a thing? They also introduced a new category for Best Latin Song. Like, why are we introducing all these new categories? Because at the end of the day, talent speaks for itself. If you're worldwide handsome, no. If you're worldwide talent, why are we doing this? You know, like what is this? What are we doing? I really, really, really respect BTS for making this choice. I'm sure, as you know, the artists that they are, winning a Grammy would probably mean so much to them. And despite, you know, really wanting that as a dream, they decided to stand up for what they believed was right and say, you know what, this doesn't feel like we're equals and we're not doing it and we're out. And I just respect them so much for that. And I just think when you're starting to like put these restrictions on things, it doesn't feel authentic and it doesn't feel like representation. Everyone that's talented and, you know, gets nominated for these categories are just in them. Instead, it's like, okay, well, these are the restrictions, you know, like let's make a category for like this language and this region. And it's like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? You know, this is one thing I've learned about BTS over these past few months when I've been learning more about them. And that's why I've like felt so connected and drawn to them as a band. Not only because I really like their music, but also as people, you know, as individuals, because they're not afraid to speak up when they don't agree with something. and I feel like this must have been a really difficult decision for them. I don't know, maybe it was easy because they felt so strongly about the bullshit of it all, but I think, you know, there was probably like part of them that were just really like bummed out that this is what happens, and, you know, having to make this decision. And I'm going to share what I wrote on Threads because I found out about this like 16 hours ago, but I've only just had time to make this video. But I just said, I'm so proud of BTS for taking a stand and choosing not to submit to the 2027 Grammys. Music should unite people, not divide them. Creating a separate category specifically for Asian artists feels like isolation rather than true inclusion. BTS shouldn't be boxed into a side category when their impact is global. Mic drop. So, you know, this is another thing to consider too. Obviously, I'm not saying that like they wouldn't be in this category. Obviously, they would. But, you know, but the fact that it also says with meaningful use of one or more Asian languages, I mean, like I said, there's Korean in Arirang songs, and, you know, I think there's like a real powerful message, especially in Body to Body at the end, and, you know, the whole story of the Arirang tune that we hear at the end, you know, and that kind of, you know, stands out to me as an example right now. But just the fact that also this like album is primarily in English too just feels a bit of a smack in the face even more to me with this category of like, I don't know. I said in a previous video, I've not seen the Grammys in years. Maybe this was foreboding something and I have some kind of sixth sense. I don't know, but I'm not sad about missing them anymore because what the hell's going on? Also, I do want to say that, you know, some people have said that I should react to BTS's Grammy performances to support them. And I love supporting BTS. But I have chosen not to do that just because I don't really want to cover anything Grammys related right now, just because of this whole situation, and it's really like rubbed me the wrong way. So, you know, I know people might have mixed views about that and feel like if I do react to, you know, BTS Grammys performances, I'm supporting them, which is true, but I think just because of this whole situation and how everything's played out, I just don't really want to react to it because I like to be authentic in my reactions and I have a bad taste left in my mouth. So if I'm seeing a performance on the Grammys, I'm just going to be thinking about how I feel like the Grammys have like shunned them. I just don't like this situation. So I just wanted to explain that because if anyone thinks, why isn't she reacting to the Grammy stuff? That's why. I also feel like it's very hot right now, and I just don't feel comfortable, like, if it did, you know, if it was a video that did do better. So that is my reasoning for not covering the BTS Grammy performances. If you wondered, I did actually have a BTS Grammy performance on my page somewhere, and I actually unlisted it just because I don't know. I don't know. Like, tell me what you think. Am I being weird? Like, should I support it? Should I keep it up? I don't know, but I just felt like weird about it. So anyway, and I had an idea. The timeline is a bit weird, but this is what I thought. How funny would it be if BTS released Aliens the day of the Grammys? I know that's too far away, okay, because like they're already released Arirang, their singles are coming out now, we're in July, so they're not going to wait till February to release Aliens, but I just thought it'd be really funny. Maybe we got a music video launch on that day, maybe they did like a live from Seoul performance that day, that evening, the exact same time as the Grammys, ironically. But yeah, what I love about this, it shows once again, if you don't agree with something, stand up for yourself, advocate for others. I think they do what's right and, you know, keep their dignity, even in a situation like this when it was probably really hard for them to make this decision. So that is it for today, guys. And yeah, that's all I've got to say. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.